Welcome back with more celebrations on our channel, Legends Leaving. In this tribute video, we bring you a list of famous American legends who have recently died. These legends made important contributions to their works and today sadly passed away. Our condolences go out to their families and fans. Rest in peace. But first, please show your love and appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Aldo Puglisi was born on April 12, 1935, in Catania, Sicily, into a family with a long history in the theater. He died on July 19, 2024, from effects from pneumonia. Both of his parents were players in theater in the Sicilian language, and it was in this lively artistic setting that Puglisi first performed on stage, acting with his parents when he was very young. Pietro Gerami's 1964 movie Seduced and Abandoned was Puglisi's big break in the movie business. He played the legendary Peppino Califano in that movie. His role as the sleazy seducer in this satirical comedy drama got him a lot of praise and made him a well-known actor in Italian movies. Even though his first movie had a big effect, Puglisi was cast in less important roles in later movies, which led him back to his theater roots. Puglisi was a capable performer throughout his career. He balanced his work in movies with a lot of stage roles, which showed off his acting range and commitment to the craft. He played many parts on stage in both classical and modern plays, showing that he could keep people interested with his lively performances. Puglisi has played a lot of different types of parts in movies. After Seduced and Abandoned, he was in movies like La Visita in 1963 and Divorzio all Italiana in 1961, often giving his supporting parts a lot of depth and nuance. Even though the importance of Puglisi's movie parts changed over time, his talent was always clear, and he remained a respected figure in Italian movies and plays. In addition to acting in movies and plays, Puglisi also appeared on Italian TV, which helped him reach more people and show how versatile he was as an actress. His gifts to the arts were noticed and valued by both his peers and the public. With a career that spanned several decades and included important contributions to both stage and screen, Aldo Puglisi left behind a legacy of commitment to the performing arts. His early experience in theater and his memorable film debut are still the best parts of a life dedicated to playing Dot. Many people who loved Puglisi's art and dedication to his craft still remember and honor his impact and body of work. He passed away on July 19, 2024, from complications from pneumonia. He was a loved and skilled performer. 2. Jerry Miller was a famous American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and drummer who was born on July 10, 1943, and died on July 20, 2024. He made his mark on music history as a solo artist and as a member of the Jerry Miller Band. He was also a key member of the San Francisco band Moby Grape in the 1960s, and the band still performs occasionally. Rolling Stone magazine put Miller at number 68 on their list of the best guitarists of all time, and they put Moby Grape's self-titled record at number 124 on their list of the 500 best albums of all time. He was born in Tacoma, Washington, and went to Lincoln High School until the mid-1960s. In the late 1950s, he started playing music with well-known Northwest dance rock bands like the Elegants and the Frantics. He also played guitar on an early version of I Fought the Law by the Bobby Fuller Four and toured with Fuller and the group that came before them. In the beginning of his work in Seattle, Miller became friends with Jimi Hendrix. He and Larry Coryell would often watch touring bands at the Spanish Castle Club, which gave Hendrix the idea for his song Spanish Castle Magic. Miller later helped to start Moby Grape. Miller and his bandmate Don Stevenson were in a Seattle-based bar band that got some local attention. The band moved to San Francisco and became the core of Moby Grape in 1966. As lead guitarist for Moby Grape, Miller co-wrote some of the band's most famous songs, such as Hey Grandma, Edelweiss, and Murder in My Heart for the Judge. These songs were covered by famous artists like Robert Plant, Three Dog Night, Lee Michaels, and the Black Crowes, and they were used as soundtracks for movies like The Interpreter. Moby Grape had a lot of success touring the U.S. But they broke up in 1970. Miller and Stevenson then formed the Rhythm Dukes, a band that shared the stage with acts like Albert Collins, the Flying Burrito Brothers, and the Grateful Dead. Even though they broke up in 1971, the Rhythm Dukes music came back in 2005 with the release of their album Flashback Later. Miller worked with legendary musicians like Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, B.B. King, and The Doors. Guitar greats like Jimmy Page and Stephen Stills praised his work. Clapton once said that Miller was the best guitarist in the world, and Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and the Grateful Dead all played his songs. A list of the 100 best guitarists of all time from 2003 put Miller ahead of famous players like Eddie Van Halen and David Gilmour. The article praises driving solos and straightforward style, pointing out that Hey Grandma was an important 1995 recording. In his later years, Miller lived in Tacoma, Washington, and led the Jerry Miller Band. He also performed at important events, such as the 40th anniversary of Monterey Pop in 2007. Miller had personal problems, like having to put on a benefit concert for his bandmate Rick Burton and losing almost all of his belongings in a flood in 2009. Despite these setbacks, he kept performing and giving back to the music community by taking part in the California 66 tour and local benefit concerts. After a long battle with cancer, Jerry Miller died on July 20th, 2024, at the age of 81. He was loved by singers and fans all over the world. Sarah Gibson was a famous American pianist and songwriter who was born on May 21st, 1986, and died on July 14th, 2024. She was dedicated to making new music. Together with pianist and composer Thomas Kotcheff, she started the piano duo Hocket, major bands in the U.S. and Europe have played her music. Gibson was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and grew up in Roswell, Georgia. It was there that she became interested in music at a young age and started taking piano lessons when she was 7 years old. She played the piano and keyboards for the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra when she was a teenager. She went to college and got a bachelor's degree in 2008 in both piano playing and music composition from the Indiana University School of Music. At the University of Southern California, she continued her education. In 2010 and 2015, she earned a master's degree in writing and a doctorate. During her career, she worked as an assistant director for the Los Angeles Philharmonic Composer Fellowship Program. She worked as an assistant professor of music theory at California State University and the Long Beach Bob Cole Conservatory of Music, where she also led the New Music Ensemble and worked with director Andrew Norman. Gibson has been a part of the Pianosphere's New Music Group for many years and was named a featured artist in 2019. She did a lot of shows in the U.S. and Europe, and Hocket played at well-known events like the Mata Festival in New York City, the Los Angeles Philharmonic, the 8th Blackbird Creative Lab, and the Other Minds Festival will all be open from noon to midnight. Gibson was commissioned to write music by the League of American Orchestras, the Toulmin Foundation, Tanglewood Music Center, Aspen Music Festival and School, and the Seattle Symphony, among others. She wrote a piece for baritone and tongue drum that was released by Reese and Erler. During the 2001-819 season, she was the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra's sound investment composer. Gibson's piano concerto for the left hand won the University of Southern California's competition for new orchestral music. She played the lead part in it. Her piece Soak Stain for Ensemble was performed by the Grossman Ensemble in Chicago on May 19, 2023. It was based on the art of Helen Frankenthaler. She got ideas for her musical piece Warp and Weft from Miriam Shapiro's art. It was played in Glasgow on March 8, 2024 by the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra led by Gemma New. It will be played by the BBC Philharmonic with Anja Bielmeyer conducting. At the world premiere of her piece, Beyond the Beyond, was also planned for this show. It was inspired by the hope, pain, fear, and joy of becoming a mother. Gibson got married to Aaron Fullerton in 2014, and they have a son together. She died at her Los Angeles home on July 14, 2024, after a long fight with colon cancer. She was 38 years old. Gibson won the Victor Herbert Award from the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers and the Marion Richter American Music Composition Award from the National Federation of Music Clubs. He was also praised by the American Composers Orchestra Underwood New Music Readings. The Percussive Arts Society also gave her a prize for her work. Her contributions to the area of new music are still praised by both friends and colleagues. Recently, there have been reports on the internet that the famous American actress, comedian, singer, and writer Carol Burnett has died. There are also worries about her health. People have been wondering about her health since she hasn't been seen in public in a while, which has fed these reports. Carol Burnett was born on April 26, 1933 in San Antonio, Texas. Her comedy variety show, The Carol Burnett Show made her famous. It aired on CBS and was one of the first shows of its kind to be hosted by a woman. She has a long and successful career in theater, TV, and movies where she has done great in both serious and funny parts. Many awards have been given to her over the years, including 6 Primetime Emmy Awards, 7 Golden Globes, a Grammy, and a Tony Award. In 2005, Burnett was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2013, he won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, and in 2015, he got the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. Even though she is a famous person, fans are worried about recent pictures and reports. On Mother's Day, Carol was seen entering a restaurant in Montecito, California, while holding on to her husband, Brian Miller's arm. She looked weak. Burnett wore dark pants, a black turtleneck, a white sweater, a bright red bag, and big shades. She looked weak, which has contributed to more concerns about her health. This sighting, which happened without her children being there, added to the rumors. The spread of false information has made things even more difficult. On December 14th, a post on the Conservative Tears website said that Carol Burnett had died when it was not true. This story, which was called a satire, had many mistakes, like spelling her name wrong and giving the wrong year of birth. After all, Burnett was born in April 1933, so she was 86 years old when the false story came out, not 89 as it said. In her personal life, Burnett has shown strength and devotion to her work. Because her parents were alcoholic, she grew up in a tough home. She and her grandma then moved to a rundown Hollywood, California neighborhood with a 1-bedroom apartment. She was close to her mother. Even with all of these problems, Carol Burnett followed her dream of becoming an actress and became a famous and loved person around the world. Burnett's fans are still worried about and interested in her health right now. Though she hasn't been seen as much lately, the rumors that she has died are not true. Carol Burnett is still remembered as a symbol of humor, skill, and persistence, and her impact on the entertainment business is still felt today. Fans hope she is healthy and look forward to any public visits or news about her health in the future.